Zionism is completely a secular movement. Why they need Palestine? They say the promised land. They say from God. Who promised it? They don't believe in the Torah. Where is written the promise? You don't believe in the Torah. How you can say the promised land when you don't believe in God?
That right. The Israelis have their right because that is their promised land. This is incorrect.
Completely incorrect.
Israelis have their right because their ethnicity originated in this land. This is incorrect.
Incorrect.
Israelis have their right because this is their religious home. That is incorrect because you. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Sema Podcast. Today I have a special guest. My honored guest is someone who, in the environment that we're living in right now and what's going on right now in Palestine, I believe we need someone, an individual who specializes in a type of knowledge where that person can educate the masses. I've just returned from a rally, from a protest here in Leicester, an environment where there is a lot of confusion, I would say, enrage, anger, a lot of things on the media, a lot of misunderstanding, I would say, in the media. It's important to have someone who can educate the masses where people have an informed decision where it's clear and concise. I would like to welcome Rabbi Al Hannan Beck from Notary Carter. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, welcome.
Thank you for coming. I'm just going to touch a bit about your organization, but you'll tell me more. Rabbi Beck is a rabbi who works for, or who belongs, for an organization called Notary Carter. They're an anti-Zionist organization. Am I right saying it's a religious organization, a religious, how would I say it, a religious synagogue, would I say? Is that correct? Sorry.
No, you can't call it organization. I will come back to that.
His work and his organization, they've been informing and I would say, I wouldn't say fighting, but getting the right information there, talking about Zionists and themselves are against the Zionist movement. So today, hopefully, we'll get a deeper understanding on, first, I would say Judaism, because there's this notion that whenever there's a conflict in Palestine, that is Arabs versus Jews or Muslims versus Jews. So I would like the beginning first for the rabbi and for our viewers to be educated on the Jewish stance and who are Jewish people, what is Judaism. And then we'll speak a bit about the Zionist movement, and hopefully by the end of this podcast, we'll be informed for us to have a better understanding and comprehend, let's say, what's going on right now in the current environment in Palestine. Rabbi, can you please talk about the early beginnings, let's say, of yourself and your organization? Were you born in the UK? How did you end up? How did it come about? How did the organization Notary Carter come around?
Yes. For that I have to start a bit from beginning. What is Judaism and what is Zionism? And then we come, what is Notary Carter? About me, myself, my name is Rabbi Al Hannan Beck. I'm a rabbi in Stamford Hill in North London. I'm born in Palestine. And in the 1970s, my whole family gone out of Jerusalem. I born in Jerusalem. I gone out. We don't want to live under the Israeli regime. Not only us. I mean, since the beginning of the State of Israel in 1948, tens of thousands of Jewish families has left the State of Israel. They didn't want to live there. Even in our neighborhood in London, Stamford Hill, there are hundreds of families but they just gone out. The whole time, families keeping going out there. Not everybody have the ability to go out, even not agreeing with the state. However, it's difficult. They have the family, the connections, the work and everything. But many people, they stand up above all this and they're going out because they're understanding that this is not a place to live today for Jewish people.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry, Rabbi. Just to clarify, you was born in Palestine.
I born in Palestine.
You migrated to Stamford Hill, North London, not just yourself, a massive community upon the immigration or upon the occupation of the Zionism in 1940s.
Yes, it's not we gone out as mass, but it's going out many families with the time. Every few weeks going out another family. I tell you only that since the creation of the state, 1948, then has been gone out already tens of thousands of Jewish families, but they didn't want to live there. Really, when I gone out from there, I used to live in the USA, in Canada, and then I married here in London for 36 years ago. And since then I live in London. So this is about me. About our organization, I will come back later. Now I come back to the question. Firstly, what is Judaism and what is Zionism?
Yes.
Judaism, in first hand, it's a religion. God gave the Torah in the Mount Sinai for the Jewish people. Everybody knows this part of history for 3,500 years ago. And Judaism is a religion. It's not a race. Haven't got to do nothing with race. I will give an example of that. If I understand good, it's like Islam.
Yes.
It's a religion. Everybody can join it. Everybody can go away from that. I mean, if it's happened, yes. The same thing as Judaism. Everybody can convert to Judaism. And if somebody don't believe in God, don't keep the Torah, he's not counted as a Jew. According to the Jewish law. So, again, there is something what calls Yisuel af Bishachutu Yisueli. That means a Jew is counted as a Jew, even he leave the Torah. That means that he is still obligated to keep the Torah and he will be punished if he don't keep the Torah. However, we don't count him as a Jew at all, because Judaism is a religion. If you keep the religion, you are Jewish. If somebody converted to Judaism, he's the same Jew as me, but I'm already older generations Jewish. So that is a very important thing to understand. Judaism is not a race.
Yes.
This is a religion.
It's a misconception when they say it's my birthright.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, today's day, Jewish people counting in the world 17 million, something like that. However, only 2 of them are religious. We don't count the other 15 as Jewish. I'm sorry, I didn't want to offend anybody what's a secular Jew. However, there's not such a thing secular Jew, like it's not such a thing a secular Muslim.
Yes, it does not exist now. It doesn't exist now.
So the same thing, Judaism is a religion.
Yes.
If you believe in God, you're keeping the Torah, then you are Jewish. If you are secular, you are not Jewish.
Yes.
This is a fact. I can't change it. It's not in my hands to change it.
Yes.
This is a fact. So,
you said there's only 2 million practicing Jews in the world.
Yes. Now, I come to the basic point about Judaism and the state of Israel. Then we will come to Zionism. Jewish people are in exile by divine decree. We believe that God promised the land for the Jewish people. It's written in the Torah. However, when you look in the Torah, and I know the Zionists every time waving the promised land, and they try to convince people, look in the Torah, read the Torah, the promised land. However, what they're ignoring is that the same God that promised the land for the Jews, he took it away from the Jews. You can see that in the Torah many times, 36 times, it's written in the Torah that the land was promised for Jews only if they keep a high level of life. If not, they will be exiled of the land.
Okay, just on that, Rabbi, sorry, I know I'm interrupting you again. How was the promised land ever specified on the Torah as a particular area?
Yes.
Yes.
But that was only this condition if we keep a high level of life. If not, God warns us that they will be exiled of the land.
Okay.
Now, that's what's happened in the end when you look in the books of the prophets, especially Ezekiel, Yeshayahu, and especially Yirmiyahu. Yes. Then you see that God warns the Jews to the prophets to repent.
Yes.
And if not, they will be exiled. But at the end, the Jewish people didn't repent, at least not in this level what God asked them. And God sent them into exile. You can see that very clearly in the end of the book of Yirmiyahu. God sent them into exile. Now, in one of the basics in our belief is that we didn't was exiled of the land because we were weak.
Yes.
When you look in the books of the prophets, you see we was very strong at that time. However, this was a punishment of God. God exiled us of the land. It's written in the book of Yirmiyahu. It was then a war between Jews and the Babylonians. I think this is Iraq today.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Babylon. Yeah. Current day Iraq.
And God he warns the Jews that even if you will kill all the Babylonians, all of them will be killed. These dead Babylonians will stand up and throw you out of this land. This is a verse in Yirmiyahu. You can see that. So this is, I believe that God sent us into exile.
Yes.
Going out of exile by force is a rebellion against the Almighty.
Yes.
It's like if you have a child. I give you an example. You have a child, he's bad. You told him, okay, I have to punish you. Stand in the corner for 10 minutes. He coming out. What means that? Couldn't care less about you, about your point.
He's been rebellious. Yes.
The same thing if God send us in exile. And we going out of the exile by force means a rebellion against the Almighty. Now you can understand that people what are believing cannot do such a thing. So you can understand the whole idea of Zionism. To stand up in the time when God sent us in exile is a rebellion against the Almighty.
Yes.
This is again the basic of our religion.
Yes.
This is even the Zionists doing the land in a free land. Especially they're doing that in the head of other people. By killing them, by robbing away the land of them. Occupying the land. Threw them out from their houses. Of course it doubles and triples the crime many times more. In the Torah, in the 10 Commandments it's written, don't kill and don't steal.
Yes.
And this is exactly the opposite what the Zion is doing. So, now we come, what is Zionism? Zionism is born in the heart of people, but there was atheist. Theodor Herzl, he was the father of Zionism, he was the founder of...
And he was an atheist.
He was an atheist at all.
Yes.
Even he didn't do a circumcision for his own son. A circumcision really is accepted by everyone, even many secular Jews.
Yes.
This still they're keeping, making a circumcision.
This is like a standard thing as a Jewish person. Yes.
But even people that don't keep Shabbat, that don't eat.
It's like the bare minimum, you'd say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he didn't make a circumcision, and he was proud of that.
Yes. He announced it. That's probably how everyone knows. Okay.
He was a secular Jew, not only he, the whole Zionist party.
Yes.
But they stand up for 130 years ago.
Yeah.
It was atheists. So as atheist Jews, they don't believe in God, they don't believe in exile,
Yes.
don't believe exile with God. So they find themselves, Jewish people in exile, what they have to do? They have to organize themselves. What will do the English people when they will be in exile?
Yeah.
Of course, they will organize themselves, take over some land at least, do the same thing what the Zionists do. Because there was atheists, they haven't got to believe in God in the whole thing. Because of that, they find them that they do what they have to.
They lack. Would you say they lack morality, basic morals, something that they can adhere to? If you have a religion and you have a way of life guidance, would you say that someone who's atheist lacks guidance, so they are free-willed, let's say, to conduct themselves the way they would like? Would you say that's...
But I want to bring out the whole idea of Zionism,
Yes.
in what they can rebel against the will of the Almighty,
Yes.
is can only build it up by people who was atheist. It couldn't build it up by people who they're following God and they believe in God.
Yes.
In the time of the beginning of Zionism, all the Jewish rabbis at that time opposing that very, very strong.
They oppose Zionism strong.
Oppose Zionism, of
The
course.
way of life, yes.
However, with the time, they get more power, they get money, they paid. And you know, every time you can find bad characters between, and even people what they're studying, and they call themselves rabbis, but they get paid. I'm sure you have this example also. I'm not sure, but in Islam also.
Yes.
What people, and for the money what they get, they go over the side of Zionism. But that was very, very rarely. There was one rabbi, he calls Rabbi Cook, but he go over to the side of Zionism. And there was other rabbis, he was more a bigger rabbi. There was a small minority of the rabbis what they go over on his side, and they try to make a type of religious Zionism.
Yes.
From one side, it's a contradiction. You can't be religious and rebel against the Almighty.
Yes.
So they try to take out of taking out small parts of the Torah and try to.
They try to change it.
To try to make people confused.
Yes, okay.
And try to bring them into the Zionist idea. However, they have no succeed by religious Jews until the Second World War. Then it comes the Second World War when about 6 million of Jews has been killed. And between them, almost all the real rabbis has been killed there in Europe, in Russia, Russia, in Ukraine, and German, and Poland, and Hungary.
Would you say that this would be, let's say, the pinnacle point of the doctrine of Judaism? Because all of would you say your scholars in your religion, because they've been killed? Do you see where the innovation started, you think?
Oh, because they've been killed, then the Zionists start with a big propaganda. And they say, we will save you.
Yeah.
Look, it's go with the religion, without the religion. However, look what's happened. We need a country. We need somebody to save you. And then many people, they get confused with the Zionist idea. The Second World War really was a big succeed for the Zionists, where they helped them to build up themselves. However, I want to make clearly, again, we come back maybe to all these points later, but I want to bring, especially this point that Zionists say we want to save Jewish people. I want to come back to this point, if Zionism is any safeness for Jews, if they bring any safeness for Jews. However,
it's not a
what I want to bring out. Just a second. Boei gaat door. Dat je nou je niet meer gewoon hem schakel niet hebben door. However, but Judaism is built up of trusting God, believing God. Zionism is built up of mistrusting God. How long we will stay in exile? We have to take the situation in our own hands. Jews are in exile. God bezworen us with 3 oaths to stay in exile, waiting for the coming of Messiah. We will come back to the point of Messiah, because many people say Messiah will be another Netanyahu. What Messiah will be? I will come back to this point. However, but Jews waiting in exile, Zionism, rebelling in God, and taking situation in their own hands. So this is what Zionism is. Now I come to our organization. It's called Naturkarte. Really, we haven't got an organization. Naturkarte is not an organization at all.
Okay, it's a movement.
Naturkarte is only a name.
Okay.
What people calling these people what standing up, fighting against Zionism. Fighting, it's not the means and physical means.
Yes.
Because we haven't got the physical ways how to fight, and we didn't saw that by our rabbis. We can't take guns in the hand and
Yes.
Fighting means to clarify for the world that Jews and Zionists are two different things. Orthodox Jewish people like me, this type of people, are almost against the state of Israel. And these people what's standing up, these people, within the Jewish community, they call them Naturkarte.
Yes.
Naturkarte means guardians of the city. Nature is guardians, Karte means a city. So that means people what they are guardians of the Jewish faith.
Yes.
They call the city means the Jewish faith.
Okay.
These people call them Naturkarte. So, but really, we are not an organization. We haven't got members in such things like that.
Yeah.
However, these people, what they are coming out, standing openly against the state of Israel, people call them Naturkarte.
Yeah.
So this is the basic answer on your question.
Okay.
I have much more to say, but how?
I mean, all right. Let me. I found about Naturkarte when all of this erupted from the 7th of October. Growing up, I've always participated in protests and rallies, especially in my adult age. When I started this podcast, I thought I need to. One of the essence of this podcast is for the East African diaspora, but it's also for everyone who's watching. And when all of this erupted, I thought we need to educate people because there's a lot of miscommunication. So in my research, I found Jewish Voice for Peace, who are based in America and I think all over the world, all over Europe. I reached out to them. They said, you need to reach out to Naturkarte. I think your social is managed by another organization, another movement. I think they're based in America as well. And they told me, you're the main guy you need to reach out to in London is yourself, Rabbi Beck. And Alhamdulillah, you're here today. So if we go back, there was, in your book, there was this exodus of the Jewish people. And you are waiting for the Messiah to bring you back to the promised Holy Land or to point you to the Holy Land?
The Holy Land was promised for the Jews.
Okay.
A Messiah will bring us back to the Holy Land. If you want to understand more about Messiah, I will clarify. Many people asking me, you're waiting for Messiah. So Messiah will take you to the Holy Land. He will turn out the Palestinians. So again, what you are different from Netanyahu?
Yes.
So the answer on that is very clearly, if you want to understand what Messiah is, you have to read it in the Jewish books, in the books of the prophets. It's very clearly described what it means, Messiah. And then you can judge what is Messiah.
Yes.
Messiah means he will be a prophet. Messiah will not do nothing as his own. He will be only a prophet, but when he will comes, he will bring in spiritual in the heart of all the people.
Yes.
In my heart, in your heart, in all of the people, my kind of the world. And they will bring spiritual, all the people will turn themselves to God. All of us, it's called V'yeusi Kila Magidu Echos Lasa Zatzoincho Belev of Shulem. That means all the people of the world will together, going together and serve the same God.
Yes.
With the same heart. There will be no wars.
Yes.
Not only between people, even between the animals. There will be a sheep with a lion will be in the same place. Yes, in the whole world will be peace, and of course between people. Me with you will serve the same God in Jerusalem, but we will be not on two sides of the fence. We will be on the same side of the fence. I think that Muslims have the same belief.
We believe that Isa alayhi salam, as the Christians call Jesus, he will return to Jerusalem.
That you believe that all of the world will serve the same God on the Muslim way.
Yes.
The Christians think they will serve God on the Christian way.
Yes.
We think all of us will, me with you, everybody will serve the same God in peacefully on the Jewish way.
Yes.
How that will happen? This will happen when Messiah will bring us into the heart of people. People will see the truth and everybody will turn after him.
Yes.
There will be no wars. There will be, the heart of people will turn. And I must bring out this point. Not the differences of our belief in Messiah, the Christian belief in Messiah, the Muslim belief in Messiah, not this was the problem. Not this is the problem. Jews live in the Muslim countries for centuries. Very good. All the Muslim leaders know that Jews believe that at the end of the day when Messiah will come, everybody will serve God on the Jewish way. They have no problem with that.
Yes.
Because you don't come with force. You don't come to force anybody. You don't come to occupy anybody's land. You just think what you believe. Okay, believe you want.
Yes.
Let's wait and let's see.
You live in peacefully with people, right? And
we come back to this point.
Okay.
I didn't want to just say it in 1 second. I want to say it more. But however, I want to bring it out this point that Messiah is described in our scriptures. Uni v'roiche v'lachamor. That means a poor man coming on a white donkey. We don't know what that means. Today, no white donkeys. But it's like all the verses of the prophets, what we can't understand every time exactly, the verse of the prophets. But this is the description of Messiah. Messiah is not described as a man with muscles and he will take over the world and he will kill everybody. No. A poor man coming on a white donkey. Even we don't understand exactly what it means, but we can understand what the description of Messiah is. Messiah will only bring spiritual in the heart of people. And then all of us will turn to serve the same God in harmony and peace.
okay, so again, you was born in Palestine, Jerusalem. I would say the occupation of Zionism, those in the essence who are practicing Judaism in its truest form, they left Palestine. So this notion of Jewish people need to return to Palestine and turn it back to Israel, or the misconception of it needs to be Israel, that Israel belongs to the Jewish people. You are here as an example, someone who was born in Palestine, and when the occupation of the Zionist movement came into Palestine and to occupy and to set up shop and say, look, this is Israel. You're a Jewish person who's practicing. You left that land. So this notion of saying, okay, this is our promised land, and then the Palestinians say, no, this is ours, doesn't really exist. It's propaganda. It's only 70 years old. There's people who've been there for thousands of years. Doesn't matter what sort of creed they are. They were there in that land, Palestine. You were born there. Your family's there. You are practicing Jew. 7th generation there as a Jewish. You was living peacefully with the Muslims. Christians were there also. So this influx of this population of people just coming to occupy, and then eventually them being backed up by governments and saying, right, we need to help these people 70 years ago to a point where they've formulated this country, even though they're breaking many laws on the conditions for a country to be a country, say Israel. So the message that I want you to clarify, that this thing has nothing to do with religion, this occupation of Palestine. It has nothing to do with creed. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. So if we hear that, right, the Israelis have their right because that is their promised land, this is incorrect.
Completely incorrect.
Israelis have their right because their ethnicity originated in this land. This is incorrect.
Incorrect.
The Israelis have their right because this is their religious home. That is incorrect, because you who was born there, left, went to America.
It's completely false.
And now you are living in Stamford Hill for 30 years. And I've heard you famously saying that if you go to Stamford Hill, and I'm originally from East London, and I go to North London in Hackney in this area, you would not see one Israeli flag. Is this correct?
100%. If you come in our neighborhood in Stamford Hill, you can go over the whole neighborhood, you won't see even one Israeli flag. And it is a large Jewish community, thousands of Jews.
And there's no one Israeli flag. Growing up, when I was young, and I had no knowledge, I still don't have knowledge, but whenever I saw a Jewish person, which just shows the Zionists are doing a grave injustice to the Jewish people. If I saw a Jewish person like yourself, dressed the way you are, in my heart, I used to think, these are the people who are killing my Palestinian brothers and sisters. So it's important to clarify that this is not the case. This is just the image that we've been sold on media or on TV, that you are actually a peaceful people who have nothing to do with this occupation. You have absolutely nothing to do with Israel. As you stated, they're a secular movement. In fact, the father of the Zionist movement is an atheist. Okay.
Even today, all the leaders, most of them are atheists. They don't believe in God. But to say a few things, I want to bring it out. Firstly, I pointed out again, yes, we live when you see people looks like me, not only here in London, in Manchester, in Belgium, in Vienna, in New York, and in Australia, in Argentina, all over the world, you see people looks like me. This type of Orthodox people are almost against the state of Israel. In all these areas, in these neighborhoods, usually you won't find the Israeli flag. All of them. You can walk from Argentina to Australia. Where do you see a Jewish neighborhood, people looks like me, you won't see the Israeli flag. As more religious as people are, as more they are against the state of Israel. And I point this out. Zionism is completely a secular movement. Why they need Palestine? They say the promised land. They say, from whom is promised? They don't believe in God. Who promised it? They don't believe in the Torah. Where is written the promise? You don't believe in the Torah. How you can say the promised land when you don't believe in God? Bibi Netanyahu was here in England. He goes on the TV, go into a restaurant and eat pork. Yeah. Before the TV, he want to show for everybody, I'm secular. Yeah. I don't keep the Torah. How he come later to say, I coming in the name of the Torah? This is just a hypocrite. However, why really they choose Palestine? In the beginning, they want only a homeland. They don't need Palestine. They want to take a piece of land in Uganda, then in Argentina. Why they took Palestine? Because they understand every Jew all over the world have very tight connections with Palestine. Because it's a holy land. Again, don't mistaken. I myself have also very strong connections with the Holy Land. However, this is not a nationality. This is a spiritual connection. I know if I was there in the Holy Land, I can better pray to God. I feel closer to God, but it's no difference who rules the land. If the Palestinians or the English or the Turkish, no difference. It's a spiritual connection. However, the Zionists know that every Jew have this spiritual connection, then they can confuse people. Oh, you have connection ties. I will give you the land. This is the promised land. I will bring the Messiah. This is all rubbish. But however, they can confuse people with that. And that's what they're doing. The whole time they're confusing people. You know us from the media. Yes. From the work what Turkey doing outside. Yes. I can tell you this is only 10% of our work. 90% we're working within the Jewish community, giving speeches, spreading leaflets, just to take away people from all the Zionist propaganda. But they try to confuse people. I try to keep them straight. We work very hardly within the community. So you touch also the point. I'm 7 generations and I'm born in Palestine. My mother is already 90 years. God gives her health and yes. And she told me, she remember, we used to live with Palestinians neighbors, such a good relationship. Yes. We used to babysit each other, the children. In the Jewish holidays, they bring over the children to the Muslim neighbors. In the Muslim holidays, bring over the children to Jewish neighbors. So really, this is not a problem here of religion. The problem here is the occupation. We have a golden history in all the Muslim countries for centuries. I can say that even we were persecuted in Europe countries, we fled to the Muslim countries, and they give us such a good hospitality.
It was a safe haven for you, the Muslim countries. Even historically, from our history, if I were to speak to the example of Andalusia, Spain, before the Muslims went to Spain, there was a lot of fighting against, let's say, Christians and Jews. When that dynasty took over Spain, there was peace amongst all three religions, and knowledge prevailed there. This is one of the wonders of the world at that area.
Knows that, this history, but the Zionists try to ignore this and to cover up this, everything. And Jews live it peacefully all over the world. All over the Muslim countries. It's such a shame that this is what the Zionists paying back for the Muslims, for the golden hospitality what they gave for the Jewish people for centuries, what they're paying back by occupying the land, by killing them, by throwing them out of the land. And Jewish people live even today in all Muslim countries very peacefully. Take for example Morocco, Algeria, Tunis, Iran, Turkey, Yemen.
Even in East Africa, where I'm from, I'm from Zanzibar, Tanzania. It's important that you're saying this, because many of my community, when we see Jewish people, I would say in my language, Wayahudiao, it's like there comes the Jews, but the way they're saying it is, they're here, they're going to take our land, so we're in fear. When we see Jews settling, even coming as tourists, we are afraid that, they're going to occupy land. So it's important that you're clarifying this, that this is not a Jewish goal. This is not a Jewish doctrine where
Jews are in exile by divine decree.
Yes.
We are not allowed to rule even 1 inch of a land.
Not even 1 inch. So
we are not, because of that, we are not supporting a 2-state solution, also not.
So you have,
the whole land should go back for the Palestinians. This problem today, it's not a problem of religion. The best proof of that is that all the Muslim countries, Jews live there peacefully. I myself, I was in Morocco. I couldn't believe it. I could just cross over the border between Spain and Morocco. And just when I crossed over the border, it's coming there Muslim people, they ask me, Rabbi, bless my children. And I think, what's going on here? After 70 years of occupation, 70 years of killing, still the Muslims are so kind, they come to me, Rabbi, bless my children. It is unbelievable. This is not a problem between Jews and Muslims at all. The problem is the occupation. And this should be rectified. The land should be given back to the right owners. This is the Palestinian people. And then it will be peace even in Palestine between Jews and Muslims. Both parties, Fatah and Hamas, declared very openly that we have no problem with Jews as Jews. If they haven't got any aspirations to take over the land, they are welcome. I go up here in London to the Palestinian embassy and I told them, I'm a Palestinian Jew, I want a Palestinian passport.
Yes.
He told me, give a look, at the moment we are not issuing a passport, unfortunately. However, when we will,
Yes.
one of the first passports will be for you. It will be a honor for us to issue a passport for a Jewish rabbi.
Did you have a Palestinian passport? I mean, an Israeli passport one time, or any sort of Israeli documentation?
When I born, I'm Israeli, but I threw it away. I burned it.
You burnt it, yes.
Yes, I didn't want it.
Yes, it goes against all of your fundamentals, you would say.
Of course, Zionism is a rebellion fundamental of Jewish belief.
Yes.
Fundamentally, we will never make peace with the Zionists, even if it will happen. It don't look like, but even if it will happen, that the Palestinians with Hamas will make any sort of peace. It doesn't look like, but however, even if it will happen, we will never agree with the state of Israel.
So this is you as a real practicing Jewish person. You don't even agree with a two-state solution. You believe that the land should be returned back to its owners, which are the Palestine.
Yes, 100%.
Never conform to the Israeli occupation. Not only that, you have burned any sort of attachment and you've let go of anything that attached you to the Israel. Even though when you was born you had Israeli documentation. Do you have family in Palestine currently?
Yes, I have a large family there. There are hundreds of thousands of Jewish people in Palestine itself, but they are against the state. And they try to fight as much as they can. I mean, you are in a country, it's very hard to fight against it. However, they don't take any benefits. They don't serve in the army. Our rabbis say for the youth, better serve in prison and don't go to the army. And that's what you're doing. We have many teenagers, but they are in prison because they didn't want to save them.
So not only are they imprisoning Palestinians from West Bank and Gaza, they're also imprisoning Jewish kids and young adults and people who do not want to conform to their ideologies. So this is clear.
Yes, our people hanging in the neighborhoods Palestinian flags.
Yeah.
And the Zionists took them into prison. They beat them just now, was for 2 days, very widely spread in the media, that the Zionists beating people while they're hanging the Palestinian flags in Meir Shorim in Jerusalem. I have one of my cousins that every month he gets the welfare check from the government. From the Israeli government, yes. He make a big party for all his children and grandchildren. He take out the check, he tear it off. Just to show we don't want their money. We don't want nothing from them. And they try to do as much as they can. However, not everybody can go out of there. You understand? They have, yes. However, but I have there a big family, yes. I gone out, I'm not going back, I will never go back. I will go back with my Palestinian passport. And I hope so. Believe me, I coming from the religious point of view. The state of Israel will come to an end. I don't say that political, because I'm not a politician, but from the religious point of view. In the Torah it's written, Lumu atem oivrim espi Hashem v'hilo esitzlach. Prophet Moses said for Jewish people in a similar situation. You can see that in Numbers 14, verse 41. There was when God take out Jewish people from Egypt. And God told them to stay in the desert for 40 years. And there was many Jews, but they didn't agree. They say, no, we're going out by force. Prophet Moses told them, why do you go against God? You will not succeed. And they didn't succeed then. However, what I want to bring out, that a rebellion against God cannot be succeed. As long as the state of Israel is a rebellion against God, as I explained before, they will come to an end. There is sometimes what God give power for the evil side for a certain time of years. But all our rabbis say that before the state of Israel has been created, and after that they will have a state, but only as a period of time. At the end, they will be dismantled. We hope and pray for a peaceful dismantlement. Nobody looks for bloodshed. But they will be dismantled 100%. I hope very strongly I will see that with my eyes. And I hope I can go up there with a Palestinian passport under a Palestinian government. But 100% that will happen.
The Jewish belief.
100%.
So let me ask you this. What would you say to a young what would you say to a young Israeli individual, a young Israeli boy who is confused and he has this indoctrination that everyone in the Palestinian side are bad, are evil, they want to kill him, they want to kill his family, and they want a religious advice. They're Israeli and they're young, and they want a religious advice, and they come to you and they say, Rabbi, what do I do? Help me understand. What would you say? What would be the fundamentals of your message for them to have clarity and make an informed decision?
Before I come into the religious point, what I will tell them, sorry, you're making a big mistake. You are confused by false Zionist propaganda. The Palestinians don't hate Jews. They hate occupiers. They have not a problem with Jews. The Palestinians don't want to kill you. The best proof is I can sit with you. The best proof is I was this Saturday, and last few weeks, among 12 Jews we was, among 500,000, 500,000 Muslims. And not white people, they're coming out crying, free Palestine, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Nobody touched me. And the police told me, hey, where are you going? It's danger. Please keep away, don't go. I told him, I will show you a miracle. I go in, nobody will touch me. Nobody touched me. We have no problem with, the Palestinians have no problem with Jews. They have a problem with occupiers. Please, just open your eyes. Just open your eyes. This is one point. Second point, what I will tell them. The Zionists say, Jews need a safe haven. Many people asking me that. Okay, fine, you are not agree with Zionism. Fine, very good. At the end of the day, Jews need a safe haven. Who will protect you? I mean, you need somebody to protect you. So firstly, again, I'm speaking from the practical point of view, then I come to the religious point of view. Practical point of view, just open your eyes and look. What's going on here? Where, I ask you a question, think, just open-minded, think, in the whole world, where is the most danger place for Jewish people today? Not Palestinians, for Jews. Israel? You will come back to Israel. This is the most danger place. I live here in London, yes. I don't know how an English soldier looks like. Yes. I never saw them. I saw them by the changing of the guards. Yes. That's all. I don't know. Yes. This means a safe country. I lived 36 years in a country, and I even didn't see a single soldier. Yes. I don't know the.
You don't know the uniform, how it look. Yes, yeah, an English soldier. Yes.
This means safe. Yes. In Israel, every small child knows soldiers, tanks, weapons, everything, daily life. Somebody go out in the park with the children, he don't know he will come back. Yes. This is the most unsafe place. So I will ask for this young Israeli, what Israel gives you? What he delivered for you? He gives you any safeness? He just give you the most danger place. Please, come out, live in England. Why do you live there in a danger place? Come out, live all over. Live in the Muslim countries. Live in Iran. Live in Turkey. Live in Morocco. You live there safely. Why do you have to go in a danger place? Zionism just brings danger of Jewish people. And even outside Israel, they say we have to save people from anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism has gone out of fashion since the Second World War. I didn't say it doesn't exist, but any politician who say even one word looks like anti-Semitism, out of the map. Take an example, Jeremy Corbyn. Yes, I know personally Jeremy Corbyn for the last 15, 20 years. Very good friend with him. He's not anti-Semitic at all. At all. He's a very good friend of the Jews. However, they try to catch because he's against Israel, they try to catch something they wipe them off of the map. Yes.
It's like that they play down.
Yes. Who raising anti-Semitism today's day? Zionism. When people look in the TV, they see what the so-called Jewish people doing for Palestinian children. They get anger. And then when I go in the street, they're crying behind me, Hitler, Hitler. Because they understand that I'm doing the same thing what Hitler done for the Jews, that the Jews done for the Palestinians. Who raising anti-Semitism? This is only Zionism. Zionism is not in any way benefit for the Jewish people. This is only bringing Jewish people into danger. And really, this is my message for our government here in the UK and from the USA. I really used to live in the USA, so I can call that also my government would have a message for them. I understand they want to help, like you said before, they want to help State of Israel because they feel guilty for the Second World War. 6 million people they died, and we have to help them. We have to give them their own state. And please. We are thankful for them for helping Jewish people, goodwill. But your deeds is not good. You are mistaken. The State of Israel is not a help for Jewish people. It is only danger for Jewish people. If you want really to help Jews, please bring a peaceful dismantlement for the State of Israel. And then you will see Jewish people will be in safeness. They will living in Palestine safe, like they live in all the Muslim countries. There is no reason why not. There is no reason Jews can live in Palestine very safely. People tell me, oh, there's impossible a peaceful dismantlement. There must be a bloodshed. I'm not so sure. I give you 2 examples. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you remember what's happened in the USSR.
Yes.
The USSR was big power.
Yeah.
So such a strong power. Nobody can imagine. Everybody think that the Soviet Union to bring to an end, it will cost millions of lives. Yeah. And it didn't cost even a single life. In the second example I give you is South Africa. Okay, in South Africa there was killings, but much less than people thinking about. People think that yes, it will be hundreds of thousands of killings. Yeah. It was killings, but not so much. If there will be a will, there will be a way. Yeah. The politicians in the US and in the UK should understand, if you want to help Jews, please bring this terrible state to a peaceful end. And if there will be a will, if they will sit down by a table with the Palestinians and say, okay, I give you over the land, I want to make sure there will be no killing in Palestine, you will not kill any Jewish people, they will take up a white flag, give you over the land. If there will be a will, there will be a way. If you want to help Jewish people, please bring this land, what there is even not one day without bloodshed, bring that to a peaceful end. And also at that point you can see this is the finger of God. Look, the State of Israel is 75 years. How many countries has been established in this 75 years? money, 50, 60, everybody have peace.
Yes.
The only place where there's no peace, even one day, in the state of Israel. This is the finger of God to show they have no peace, they will never have peace. Because it's a rebellion against the Almighty. And at the end, they will be dismantled. We hope and pray for a peaceful end. Nobody looks for bloodshed. However, they will be dismantled.
Yes. So what is the religious advice you'd give to the young kid, the young man? He has come to you, you've told him, right, you need to leave. You need to open your eyes. And the practical thing, you need to leave this illegal settlement. Now comes the religious advice now.
In the religious advice, we told them, we are believers of God. That what we are in exile, this is by divine decree. Everything what's gone on with us, it's everything done by God. Nothing happened without the divine decree. Even not, you cannot move the finger.
We say that in Islam as well, yes.
Yes, without God. We believe that very strongly, and we are very strong with that. Believing means not only when it goes for your good. Believing means even when you don't understand. It looks dark, it looks bad. Still, we believe in God, and we know that everything is for our favorite. If God sends us in exile, He looks after us. We're not worried. Many people asking how you can say that. Look what's happened in the Second World War. 6 million Jews has been killed. How do you say that God looks after you? We still don't lost our trust in God. We believe in God 100%. How? Not everything we understand. If somebody is ill, he go to the hospital and the doctor told him, oh, it's very bad. You need operation and it will be painful.
Yes.
And you agree? What can I do? And the doctor comes in and he makes operation. Yes, and he have very much pain. Yes. It looks very bad when you come in and you see, oh, somebody standing off another one and he cut him. Oh, he's a murderer. What's going on here? Yeah. Yes. But you understand, no, this is a doctor. Yes. Oh, he understands what he's doing. After the operation, he recovers. He going out of hospital. What is to do for the doctor? He give him money. He say him, thank you. What's going on here?
He just cut you open. Why are you paying him? Yeah.
But you understand this is for your favorite. Yes. Oh, how do you know? You understand what operation means? No, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But I believe the doctor. We believe in God. The Second World War was an operation, a strong operation. Why?
For the Jewish people.
Yes. Yeah. Why? We don't know. But we are believers. Yeah. We are believing God. And we know that God keeps His eye of us. Yeah. God saves us. Yeah. And an entity what's against God will never succeed, and they cannot never save us, like you can see with the eyes. Yeah. Zionism just bring Jewish people into danger. We, as Jews, as our religion, we have to follow God. If God told you, tell you to stay in exile, we have to stay in exile. We are not lost in exile. Yeah. We're waiting for the Messiah, and the Messiah will come, 100%. He will come, we will go out of exile. And as I told you, Messiah will not be another Netanyahu. Yes. All of us will be on the same side of the coin. All of us will serve the same God in harmony and peace.
Inshallah. I mean, now we have established, an hour is not enough, and I hope one day we can do this again. Hopefully, there'll be better circumstances in Palestine.
In a free Palestine.
Free Palestine, yes, of course. We've established that the notion of Israel, because you have this argument, right? That they say, oh, but what about the promised land? Where's the Jewish people going to go? It's their right too. So, alhamdulillah, today you have clarified this, that it has nothing to do with religion. There is no promised land. the Jewish people.
There is a promised land, but the same God that promised it, He took it.
He took it away.
And Jews have no right to the land. And they can't say, we have the right to defend ourselves. Go back to the first hand. You haven't got the right to take over the land. You have to give back the land to the right owners. This is firstly. And really this will be an end of the bloodshed. If the Zionists will decide one day, okay, we will give back the land for the Palestinians, let's sit down and let's make sure that everything going over peacefully, and we will give back the land, they will succeed it. The Palestinians will not throw the Jewish people into the sea. It's not true. And the right of example of that is all the Muslim countries where Jews live peacefully. Look, Iran. Everybody looks Iran is the biggest enemy of the Zionist people. In Iran is a brilliant Jewish community today. The rate to have a MP in Iran, I think, is 500,000. The Jewish people are 30,000 and they have their own MP. There is a Jewish hospital, but is founded completely by the government. Jews have a beautiful life. In Iran was the biggest enemies of Israel. This shows clearly this is not a religious fight. The Palestinians will accept every Jew what haven't got aspirations.
And they like to paint this picture, or there's this picture that Iran is an intolerant state. But as you just clearly mentioned, that they have a member of parliament and they funded a hospital. So we have to end it here, Rabbi. I would like to thank you for coming, and hopefully our listeners, our viewers have learned something today, and maybe they can do their own research and they can make an informed decision and understand, because there is two sides of this. But really, I think now
I want just to add, our website, you can see a lot of information, a new world. It's nkusa.org. N for November, K for Kilo, USA.org. In my website, my email is nkusa.org@gmail.com.
Yes, I will be putting all of your contacts and your socials on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok. Thank you again, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you.